Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the LA Lakers lost game one to the Denver Nuggets at Ball Arena. Score was 132-126. Um, Jokic was a monster, particularly through three quarters. In the fourth quarter, we did some things differently that kind of really helped stagger what he was doing. Part of that was not us at all. It was the referees and the different challenges that we had that ultimately um, slowed the game down dramatically in the fourth quarter. I think that actually played into our hands a little bit. Uh, but ultimately, the hole that we found ourselves in the first quarter was just a little too much for us to overcome, unfortunately. We cut it as close as three, I think, but never got it any closer than that. And we were down by, I think, as much as 27. So, to be completely honest with you, out of the fullness of this game, I walk away saying I'm very proud of the team and how they played. Very proud, actually. I found myself making that decision that I was proud of the team about. With the 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, I was like, yeah, they've won me over whether they win or lose. So that's really what I got to say about this game. I'm proud of the players. They played great. They played hard. Ultimately, the fullness of the game was right. We came out extremely lethargic. Coach thought it would be the best way to go, putting Schroeder in the starting lineup for this game. This ain't the Golden State Warriors. Everybody and their grandma told him not to do that, including my very own self. Well, you guys know I say at least once a week, but no, scratch that. About once a day. Not to use small ball. Don't use three-guard lineups. Don't put Lonnie Walker, Dennis Schroeder, and D'Angelo Russell together at any given moment for any reason at all. You know, that kind of stuff. Stuff we talk about all season long. Small ball does only one thing for the Los Angeles Lakers. It digs us a purposeful hole for us to showcase the other team's talent and make ourselves look like a worse basketball team. That's the only thing it ever does for us. It's the only thing it ever does for us. And so I just assume that the Lakers are in cahoots with wanting to lose a basketball game when I see that strategy. And so I'm not going to try to get into how it makes me feel. You saw how that went the last 100 times we went through this. Now I've just zen myself, so to speak. I'm zen about it. It's like, yo, if they want to lose, they will lose. If they want to win, they will win. But here's the problem. I think we wanted to win and we still lost. And a lot of that had to do with the just sheer overall talent level and togetherness and offensive talent of a Denver Nugget basketball team that really showcased why they're here and why they've been the best team in the Western Conference all season long. And I thought that we did everything that we shouldn't do to start the game that would allow us the hole that I told you before the game that we could never afford to dig ourselves into against this team, despite being able to do that against other teams, because they are such a potent offense and you won't be able to come back. And isn't that what happened? Yes, it's exactly what happened. I'm a bit frustrated because I don't know that after a whole series of watching him strategize that I really can fully feel like it's okay for me to be pissed off at what I just saw. That frustrates me because it's like, all right, we do this, but we also find ourselves in situations where we come back from it and all of that. But what I've also been telling you is when you work the wrong habits all season long, eventually they're going to bite you in the butt when you least expect it or when you least need it to, most best said. And this may be what it is that I was worried about. You cannot toy around with your food. You can't have the identity that you're going to be lackadaisical. You can't have the identity that you'll show up when you want to or however that actually is. You can't be like that. Whatever that is that makes us lax as a team, it's not a trait to have when you're trying to chase a championship. Because when you start digging yourself purposeful holes, when you start leaving yourself room to be exploited by way of your tendencies from game to game to game, when you go up against a team like this, home court advantage, altitude advantage, all these different things, they're going to be able to overcome you even if you're doing all the right things when you try to dig yourself out of that hole as you routinely love to try to do. So that's what we saw tonight. The Lakers dug themselves a purposeful hole, then they turned the switch on, and the switch worked, but the Nuggets had a switch of their own, and it shined a little brighter than theirs. So that's what it was. The Lakers' old tendencies hurting them in the end. So let's take a look at these numbers I wrote down for us. First of all, we can go by the quarters. The Los Angeles Lakers gave up 3 straight 35 or 34 or more plus quarters to start this game. 37 in the first, 35 in the second, 34 in the third, and 26 in the fourth. And that is key because in the fourth quarter, I think we found a few things that worked defensively against Jokic, and we saw some in-game adjustments for a change, which I was really pleased with, Darvin. Legitimate in-game adjustments. So that's what I can say what I was excited about. Lakers quarters didn't go as well. Obviously, 25 in the first, 29 in the second, 38 in the third. That was when we started finding stuff that worked for us. And 34 in the fourth, where we really cut it close. As you can see, that second half, we definitely turned our game around and found some offensive continuity in the third and then some defensive continuity in the fourth. So what you saw was those adjustments. I think there's a good chance you could see some carryover from those adjustments, but then you could also see some counter adjustments to those adjustments just the same. So who knows what we'll see in game two. But I'd like to think that we found something tonight in the fourth quarter that we think we can work. Some of the big shots that were hit tonight were just devastating on both sides. If you're either team, you were sitting there like, my God, these guys won't miss. Jamal Murray, Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, they were just hitting shots tonight. You were like, what the hell? Bruce Brown. It was a real big shot night for guys. I think I'll start with Nikola Jokic since he was the guy who really got off to the historic start. I think he had like 15 points, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks, 6 assists on high efficiency in the first quarter. His team got out to like a 38-8 rebound start. It has to be some record or historical something. But that was our fault for doing what it is that we know we shouldn't, which was showcasing the other team's star like we often do when we run small ball. He started Schroeder with D'Lo, and he put Austin out there, put Bron and AD out there, and then we tell him never not to do this. The only thing that's going to do is showcase the other team's superstar. That's all it ever does, right? Well, that's what he did. And as a result, Jokic, the great all-time rebounder, all-time world center, did all-time world stuff in the biggest stage. And I think that's what the NBA wanted. I think that's what we wanted. So, after having so many different rants about this and coming to so many different conclusions, now I just jump straight to it. Like, I assume we just wanted to showcase Jokic tonight. 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists. What was that there? 2 blocks, 5 turnovers, plus 11 on 12 of 17 shooting, 3 of 3 from behind the arc, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That is indeed one of the greatest players of all time, in case anybody's wondering. That's exactly what he is. Also, you got a guy by the name of Jamal Murray from the Denver Nuggets who just hit every big shot necessary. And if he would have missed any of those shots, maybe we would have won the game. It's one of those type of things. Jamal Murray was spectacular. 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, plus 3, 12 out of 20 field goal shooting, 4 out of 8 from the 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He was just absolutely spectacular in 37 minutes of play. KCP, the NBA champion, boy, he hurt us bad tonight. I don't think we're going to love KCP as much as we used to after this series. I'll tell you right now, 36 minutes of play, he had 21 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, a plus 16 on 9 of 17 shooting from the field. 3 of 8 from the 3, no free throws attempted. Spectacular. Once again, another person that just didn't miss any shots. 9 of 17. When you get this type of efficiency from the Denver Nuggets, they're not going to lose. And that's why the Los Angeles Lakers were able to come back, play so very well, and still not win. It's because when you dig a hole against an offense like this, and they're clicking like this, even if you're a great team trying to come back hitting every shot, which we were, it didn't matter because we weren't getting the stops we needed until the end, the very end, when it was too late. When it was simply too late. When it came down to who can be more efficient on the end, of course, the better efficiency team was going to be more efficient on the end, and that's exactly what we saw. They just hit a couple more shots than we did down the stretch of the basketball game, and we'll talk about that, of course. Let's keep getting into these numbers here. Aaron Gordon. And so here's the thing. Aaron Gordon had 36 minutes played tonight, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, no steals, no blocks, 2 turnovers, plus 11, 4 out of 9 field goals. 0 for 3 from the 3, 4 out of 8 from the free throw line. That 0 for 3 from the 3 is what I want to talk about. Because Aaron Gordon, and I was listening to a podcast today, it was a Nuggets guy. I don't remember his name, and I'm sorry I can't give him his credit, but he made a very poignant point And he said that Aaron Gordon is somebody that the Denver Nuggets are going to need to hit the three-point shot in order for the Los Angeles Lakers to effectively play off of Jokic in a way that would allow him the single coverage necessary against Anthony Davis to not be crowded. If Aaron Gordon isn't able to hit that three, that's going to create a lot of opportunities for us defensively that maybe won't be there if he's able to knock it down. So him missing that shot is a very good sign for us, but unfortunately within that game, we didn't win. And this is one of those, y'all, where you have so many different things that normally will lead to you winning didn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is not the game you want to lose because we shot so well. You just ain't the game you want to lose because we were able to keep our turnovers down, that kind of thing. So we'll talk more about it as we go along. What else we got here? Bruce Brown had 24 minutes of play, but he was very, very, very big. In 24 minutes, he had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, did not turn the ball over, 6 of 11 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 3 of 3 from the free throw line of the -5. But those were allowed 16 points in 24 minutes. They probably should have him on the floor even longer for as well as he was hurting us, driving at the rim and connecting on layups. We have got to understand that he's going to put pressure on the rim all series long. They ain't never got to worry about getting to the line or any of that as long as he's down there. Explosive athlete as we saw down there. So we need to respect Bruce Brown. Is going to be a huge problem in this series. Period. Christian Braun. They didn't play him very much. He only had 12 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 turnover. No turnovers. 1 rebound, 1 block, excuse me. That's a block there, so you got to credit him with that. 0-2 from behind the arc, 0-2 from the field, -16. And Jeff Green got in the game for a quick minute. I don't know how many minutes he had. Actually, I didn't write it down, but he had a 3-point shot made, 1 from 3 from the field in regards to that, with 1 turnover on a -10 and a rebound accredited to his name as well. Now let's talk about the LA Lakers, man, because we really did play well. It wasn't like we out here stinking up the joint by any stretch of the imagination. Anthony Davis had 40 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers on 14 of 23 shooting, 1 of 1 from the 3, and 11 from 11 from the free throw line, -8. I thought Anthony Davis was spectacular. He gave me everything I wanted from him. I just wish we could have had a little more going on the rebounding side of the game, because a lot of what was going on in the first quarter was just Jokic just rebounding the ball like crazy, and AD only had like 2 boards up to that point. That was the difference. That was the only thing. I don't want to get into too much about how Anthony needs to rebound more and it would have made a difference, because at the end of the day, the man contributed 40 dang points and didn't miss a free throw. Very pleased with his performance. No turnovers. Hey, if you can give us more boards, it will be the difference. But 40 points is definitely going to be something we celebrate. LBJ, 26 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, no steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers, -6 on 9 of 16 shooting from the field, 0 of 4 from the 3, and 8 of 11 from the free throw line. LBJ was spectacular in 48 minutes. The only problem is he negated all of it by shooting that damn 3 on the end, bro. What the hell, bro? You hadn't made a single 3 all night long. You had been spectacularly efficient up until that point. We had no problems at all. We were fighting our way back. Everybody was doing what they needed to do except for Austin Reeves, who missed that last 3-point shot, which was only simply out of rhythm. He probably should have put it on the ground, try something else. But after all that, we're down by what? Is it 3, right? And it's like 50 seconds to go, and you've missed 3 threes tonight, right? But you're going to make us live and die with your shooting, though. And that's the problem. I don't mind LeBron James taking the last shot or making the last play. I just want whatever it is that he's going to do to be high percentage. And he needs to respect the fact that his 3-point shot is trash percentage. It's not low percentage. It's garbage. Okay? So a rubber has to meet the road, LeBron. Because if we think that you give us the best chance to succeed, but the thing that you choose to do is one of the lowest percentage things that we have, then who made the mistake? The coach giving you the ball and telling you to go after it, or you in taking the shot? Because that's where it got to be now. I'm looking at Darvin like, bro, why you give him the ball when you know damn well he going to shoot a 3 and you know damn well he ain't going to hit that 3? That's where we got to be now. Because at this point, he ain't going to use logic in regards to his own shooting percentage. He's not. That's where we at with this. And I'm looking around, I'm like, bro, we just wasted an Anthony Davis all-timer performance. Would have gotten away with all these perfect shots that these Murray and KCP and all them hit. If we could have won this game, do you know how insurmountable that would have been for their psyche to have played this well and still lost? And we almost had that. If LeBron James would have just done something different, whatever the hell else, other than shoot that damn three-point shot. Whatever the hell else. Probably anything, fam. With that much time left and with that type of deficit, and the way they were on a scoring drought at that time, they were stuck at 125 for like 2 minutes. I don't like being mad at LeBron James after he plays this well. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to live and die with you and you're supposed to be the GOAT, bro, and it's the Western Conference Finals and we had a game like this, when everything had to go completely a certain way in order for it to happen like this, and we could have took this game from the Nuggets. We could have took this game from the Nuggets. And we don't take this game from the Nuggets because it comes down to our guy asking us to live and die with something that doesn't work. And that's a hard pill to swallow when we've been screaming at our coach about the same crap in a different way. Do things that work. Don't have us do stuff that doesn't work. And we put the ball in LeBron James' hands and he's launching a three-point shot when he's freaking 0% on the night. 0% on the night. Anthony Davis deserves better from LeBron James on a night where he goes for 40 with no turnovers, fam, and doesn't brick a free throw. He don't need to live and die with a 0% chance of making a three-point shot. You feel me? Forget who's taking the shot. His effort doesn't deserve, and the rest of the team's effort doesn't deserve to be negated by something that only has a 22% chance of succeeding. Or maybe even less on these playoffs. Maybe even less. So that's what it's about. It's not about me not wanting LeBron to have the ball in his hands. It's not about me not wanting to live and die with LeBron James' shot. It's just looking at the shot and saying that has a 22% chance of falling on the season or on the playoffs. And we can get a 40% shot over there. Rui Hachimura didn't hit. How many threes had he hit on the night? 2 out of 4. Austin Reeves had hit threes on the night. Like, 5 out of 9, bro. DS was 2 of 2. AD was 1 of 1. Braun was 0 of 3, but he's taking the final shot. This man is negative 25. He's the worst plus minus in the whole damn game. My bad. That's D'Lo. Forgive me for that. That was actually D'Lo. But nevertheless, he's a negative 6. I'm sorry. But I'm pissed about it. By the way, D'Lo, you got to play better, bro. Negative 25 for real? Sorry, bro. Nevertheless, bro, we need our guys to get it together. Forget who was minus what. The whole team lost. We all lost. And it came down to just a bad choice of the last couple of possessions of shots. Austin Reeves needs to put that ball on the floor too. If I'm gonna get on Braun about the last 3 that he missed, I gotta ask A. Reeves to put the ball on the floor in that situation. I know you hit the last 2, but you knew you were off rhythm right there, bro. Don't force a shot you know you ain't on rhythm. The pass came funny. We knew the pass didn't come in your pocket. If it has a hitch in it, you got to do something else. It's not going to go. We know it ain't going to fall, Austin. If it has a hitch in it, it ain't going to fall. So that's what I need Austin Reeves to identify when he knows he catches a pass that's off rhythm. You know, it brings down the percentage chance of you hitting the 3. Even though you hit the last 2, you're probably going to make it if you put it on the ground, though. You put that thing on the ground, you're getting us an and one right there, brother. Maybe creating a shot for somebody else. I don't know. But don't shoot a shot with a hitch in it in that situation. But LeBron James, you had done so much good there, bro. You were like 8 of 13 at one point in this game. I think his efficiency was out of this world at one point. 9 assists. I love 9 assists. All right? I love 9 assists. He was only a -6. Not a -25. A -6. But the 0 of 4 from behind the arc, I need all those back. I need them all back. I don't need you taking a single one of them damn shots for no reason. I don't think it creates any space for you. I don't think it's going to conserve any energy for you because your ass going to have to get back in transition when they don't rebound the ball. So that 3 ain't going to really conserve all that energy if it's clanking and going the other way really fast. Now, is it? These are the type of things we need to consider. Let's move on from Braun, man. DS with 32 minutes. This was a big problem. Even though he was 2 for 2 from the 3-point shot, I thought he was all right, but you don't start him in this series, man. Six points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, -6, 2 out of 3 from the field, 2 out of 2 from the three, no free throws attempted. 32 minutes. The production ain't the problem. Do I need more than 6 points, 5 assists in 32 minutes from anybody? I think I do. I really think I need more. But that's not the problem. The problem is just the size disadvantage and the punting of the rebounding that you allow when you start small ball against Jokic. You know what I mean? And so when they proceed to run up 36 rebounds in the first quarter to our 3, we understand that it was that substitution, or rather that starting decision, that ultimately catered for that to be the case. So, when I say that we strategize in ways that showcase the other team's talent, that's exactly what I refer to. That specific choice to go small with multiple guards on the floor, it most definitely will have that effect on our team all of the time, and often does. And in most of the losses that you see accredited to the Los Angeles Lakers, chances are we strategize like that a good portion of the game. All of them. So this game was no different. This loss was just like any other Laker loss. We strategized small. We lost the game because of it. We dug ourselves out of a 27-point hole that we normally would have won the game against. But here's the thing. I've watched every Laker game there is. The Denver Nuggets hit shots that the Lakers are used to other teams missing. That's simply what it was tonight. There was no team that I've seen all year long that hit the shots that Denver hit tonight. Probably the Portland game that I didn't watch. It's probably comparable to the type of shooting that Denver put on tonight. Every big shot, man. Between KCP, Murray, and Jokic, they hit every big shot. That's all it was to it, man. And as efficient as Anthony was, as efficient as LeBron was, as efficient as Austin was, it did not matter. Rui was fantastic. Let's keep on going with these numbers. Austin, since we already talked about D'Lo, we're going to go straight to Austin Reeves. 42 minutes, 23 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists. No steals, no blocks, no turnovers. -3, 7 of 14 from the field, 5 of 9 from the 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw. Love that 5 of 9 from the 3. As we already said that last one, we just know that pass wasn't necessarily there. Or he caught it kind of funny or something. He shouldn't have shot that. But all in all, I thought he was spectacular, man. 3 of those threes, 2 of those threes, of course, were down the stretch right before he had missed the third one. So, I mean, you just love what he was doing to get us back in that game. And there's no way in hell we find ourselves proud of this team without all of his contributions. With a +10 there, gotta love it. So that's really what it comes down to. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong person. Numbers again, I scrunched them together too much. But he was a -3. -3. That was Rui, who's coming up next with a +10 at 17 points. 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 steals, 1 block. No turnovers accredited. 8 of 11 shooting, a 1-1 for 3. 8 of 11 shooting in 28 minutes of play. In a situation where when we finally did start using him properly, not only did he help us with the high efficiency, but he also was the reason why it worked out. We put him on Jokic and then let AD help him. And Jokic probably scored maybe 2 buckets after that. A good 5 minutes of play when we made that fourth quarter adjustment. And I'm telling you, it left them basically stagnant. I think they had a hard time with that adjustment. So Rui Hachimura by far was the most important player for us to use tonight, and we only kept him on the court for a small portion of the time in comparison to other guys. And I do think that is telling me that if we would have played him more, we probably would have been in a much better position. Without overstating it, 28 minutes of play, the guy was 8 of 11 and was getting all kinds of stops and didn't contribute to any turnovers. And then you look at Vanderbilt, who played 10 minutes, who didn't score but had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 turnover and +5. +5 in 10 minutes. See, these are the type of things. It's like, okay, you look at Rui and you see how well he did. You look at Vando and see how well he did. You look at their size, and you look at the rebounding situation. You look at how the score went when those guys weren't on the floor versus when they were. And this is why I just say we deliberately chose to do certain things that weren't going to succeed. Because you can clearly see this is a series where you need Rui and Vando. You can clearly see that. You can see that on paper before the game. You can see that when you put them on the floor during the game. So that's all there is to it. It's a lot of stuff that you sit here and you say, okay, we can adjust out of some of this stuff, but why the hell did we even come into this series with this crap, on our minds? You know what I'm saying? Like, we punted this game. Jokic ain't going for... The Denver Nuggets are not going for 36 rebounds in the first quarter if you're playing Rui and Vando like everybody told you to, coach. Everybody told you that you need a healthy dose of Rui. You need to start Rui, and Vando needs to be put on Jamal Murray. Everybody told you this. Everybody I listened to who featured this series, who talked about this series, mentioned that in some way, shape, or form. That this is a series for Rui and this is a series for Vando. And what does our coach do? He thinks that this is a series for DS. And what does DS do when he does that? He puts him on the floor for 32 minutes and gives him 6 points, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, and a -6. And the other team gets to out-rebound us by, what did it end up being in the end? 17 rebounds. 10 extra offensive rebounds accredited to them. 7 extra defensive rebounds to tell you what that actually was there. Good look at these stats, man. This is absolutely awful. First of all, let's look at what the shooting was there. The shooting was great for both teams. The field goal percentages were basically a hair off, like literally a hair off. We shot 54.8%. They shot 54.9%. 54. 46 from 84 from the field. 50 from out of 91 for them. Let's see. Make sure I get this right. Yeah. The 3-point shooting, similar. 11 out of 24 for us. 15 out of 32 for them. Neither team shoots too many threes, so we're going to have to get used to another team. A team that doesn't shoot too much, because Memphis and Golden State definitely did. This team is going to shoot a very, very high percentage. 46% from the 3 for them, 45% for us. Very close. The free throw situation, 23 out of 26 for us. So we love that we shot 88%. And they were 17 to 22 at 77%. And of course, I already told you the rebounding totals. The assists, 30 to 29, we got them there. Steals, 6 to 5, we got them there. Blocks, 4 to 7, they got us there, which should never happen. And then turnovers, 7 to 11, we kept our turnovers down, up below them, which is a welcome sight since we don't really win that very much. Points off of turnovers, we had 5 points off of turnovers. They had 14, so we definitely liked that we got in transition and scored off of their 11 turnovers. And the fast break, they had 19 points. We had 13 and points in the paint. We had 48 points. They had 50, so they got us in the points in the paint numbers. We're going to have to improve and make some adjustments to try to keep that down. Look, man, Nikola Jokic is absolutely phenomenal. I thought he and Anthony Davis played great tonight. You can't take nothing away from either one of them. Really, you can't. They showed up big. I just think that at the end of the day, Jokic got off to a faster start, and it was Coach Ham's fault for leaving him just taller than everybody else enough to get every single board in sight. And he did that. He really did that. He pulled down every single board there was to see, and it wasn't hard doing it either. And that's all there was to it. He made it look very easy. He accumulated a lot of stats in a very, very, very spectacular way. 21 rebounds on the night. I mean, my God, man. I wish I would have wrote down how many offensive rebounding totals were there for him. I did not, but I'm pretty sure he had over 10 of them. Pretty damn certain. I don't know, man. We're going to have to play a lot better than we're used to playing in order to beat this team. I think I'm on board with everybody else after one game. But I don't think that's a thing if we do what we know we're supposed to do, which is what I say every single game. I don't think any... the irony of it is, after watching the game with this team, I don't think I feel that much different. I think this is exactly how it's supposed to go when we run small ball. And I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is. This is a typical Lakers small ball game, only if we were playing against anybody else, we come back and win. That's what this is. That's all it is. And that's not comforting, Laker fans, because you probably thought you would win this one if you're Darvin Ham. You probably counted this as, oh, yeah, we win this. We could dig our hole, and then we dig our way out of it, shoot our way out of it, and do everything that we did, and we win. Except for you didn't. So whatever your strategy is going forward, if you have 2 more games that you planned on punting, now you got to switch that strategy up. See, I say this with a straight face because after watching this team do this 100 times, it's that real. They be doing this on purpose. I don't know why, but they do it on purpose. But I'm telling you, it's a bad strategy when you start getting this deep into the playoffs against teams that's good. And so maybe we want to put ourselves in a 3-1 hole and then pull ourselves out of it. Maybe we think we're that good. I hope we learn that lesson tonight. I hope we learn we don't have full control over this. Not when you're going up against somebody like that. No, you don't have full control over this. So I think that's what I hope the Los Angeles Lakers understand. They're going to have to play 48 minutes of winning basketball in order to actually be the victors in this series. Because if you keep toying around with them, they're going to do this 3 more times and we're going to be out of here, man. I don't expect that this team is going to shoot this well, but I also don't expect Anthony Davis to give me 40. Perfect free throw shooting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that KCP is going to keep shooting like this, but I don't know that he's not. Murray probably is going to keep shooting like this. Do I expect Anthony Davis not to have any turnovers in the next game? Do I expect Austin Reeves not to have any turnovers in the next game? See, it's certain things that happen in this game that, as I said, you hope to win the game when this goes down. Both teams feel that way. When you shoot that well, you definitely want to win. Like if you Denver, you have the start they had, you obviously want to win that game. But us, you don't erase the type of deficit they erased. We erased, and I walk out of there with a victory. We did some things down the stretch we shouldn't have did, and we know that. We did some things to start the game strategically we shouldn't have did. We know that. If we wouldn't have did those 2 things, we won the game. Problem is, this late in the game, it ain't no time to learn a lesson time. This ain't lesson time. You're not learning lessons. This is the real thing. You make a mistake, you go. Like this is not. It's not training mode for the Lakers. They have to understand that. For a lot of our young guys and stuff like that, you don't get these back. It's for example, the Golden State Warriors would love to have some of the 3-point shots back. You think they could have some adjustments? They play a better game against us right now. I think Game 8 would have been a better game. Game 7 would have been a better game. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have that. They can't learn from. Ain't no lessons to learn. It's just you get it right this time or you go home this time. That's what it is. So I don't really have a whole lot of aggression for the team tonight because we're well past that. We're well past that. If we don't know what it takes to win, then we don't deserve to be here. If we want to toy with our food and we're gonna act like, we can just turn the switch on and off, then we're gonna find out that Jokic is too good of a player to do that against, and it's gonna play out the way it did tonight. So. With all the great shooting that we had, the high efficiency from both teams, at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets were a better team, and it's because they strategized better. That's it. That's the difference. They strategized better. They didn't leave themselves deliberate holes for the other team to be showcased. They didn't do that. We did. That's why we lost. So the game ball goes to Nikola Jokic, obviously. Even though a lot of people played spectacular, you can't give the game ball to anybody other than the guy who went for 34, 21, and 14 on 12 of 17 shooting. 100% from behind the arc. You can't necessarily give the game ball to anybody else. So that is the end of that. And I circled something here. It says 8 people because that's how many players both teams used. Darvin, our strength is in the sum of our parts. And while I do like all of who you use, and I think you use the right people, I do think as the series progresses, that is still going to be the key to us winning. Because at the end of the day, they're going to keep using these same 8 guys, no matter what. And as the series wears down, if we're lucky enough to get a win in this series, that will play itself out in a positive way. If we use more guys than them overall. But I'll tell you, man, what I saw in that fourth quarter, just like I was telling my sis, I think it can carry over. I really do. I think this can carry over. Because what we saw was adjustments made that were successful, and we saw the Denver Nuggets kind of get shell-shocked to those in-game adjustments. If we can continue to commit to in-game adjustments, we're going to be that much better of a team going forward. And Coach Ham is going to be that much better of a coach. But he can't keep doing this to himself. Darvin, at the end of the day, I can scream and call you stupid all day long. I can do that. But I've already done that. Now it's time for everybody else to catch up to me in regards to all that stuff I've been screaming for the last 8 months in regards to Darvin. This is when it makes sense to scream all that stuff I was screaming. You can't run small ball deliberately, bro. People gonna start saying stuff like, "Why are you doing this?" Like I was doing. Are you betting on the games? Like, these are the type of things people are gonna say. So you gotta understand that even though you have a strong belief in the technical aspects of what small ball can do for you, the average fan is gonna see that as a deliberate disadvantage that they can't make any sense of. And even though the deeper I get into my basketball IQ, the more I learn that small ball has its strengths, I didn't see any of those on this floor against this team tonight. And I don't think most of the basketball analysts did either, because I listened to them. And they told you not to do this. So, I think that's where I'm going to end the video, man. I'm going to end it right there. My name is BDO44. I thank you all for watching.